Hello everyone, I hope you all are having an amazing day. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's actually Super Bowl Sunday, so I hope you guys have an amazing Super Bowl. And since the Super Bowl is coming up, and we got a lot of parties, we got a lot of festive stuff coming around, there's a topic that I want to talk about that I think a lot of people, especially guys my age, maybe older, but majority my age, especially those in college, have to kind of balance out in this life. And today's topic is going to be the distractions in your life are holding you back from your highest potential. Now, I know I'm probably going to sound like Unk here, and we may be the same age, or I might be a little bit younger than you, but let's be for real here. A lot of the distractions in this world are holding you back from your highest potential. I know it could be tempting to go out, to want to go party, to want to go to the club, to want to go with your friends and things like that. But guys, let's be real here. If you want to get to that next level in life, you have to make sacrifices. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to cut out having fun or going to parties or doing things that you enjoy. No, 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 no. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you need to separate them into seasons. Now, when it comes to the world, I'm a big believer that planning things out, planning what you want to do, planning your next step is truly the key or one of the keys to success, right? When you have a schedule and you know how long it's going to take for you to do an activity or what you have scheduled, you can kind of go on go mode, right? You can kind of be in flow state and you can let the creativity shine, right? Because you know what the order is, what is going to come next. And for me in particular, I think distractions, especially in college, right? If you're someone that lives away from home in college dorms like I do, it's you, your friends, you have girls or guys, whatever you guys like, but for me, you have girls everywhere, there's parties, and it could be distracting. It really can. And I think what we need to do, right? And this is something that I do, is we need to separate things into seasons. So I'll give you an example. Right now is the spring, and soccer in America in college sports is a fall sport, meaning we have this period of really no games. We just train in the week. I think we can play a maximum of 5 games, but that's like towards the end of spring, like March, April. And then May, we have basically off because the semester ends. But from the January, February period, we don't have any games. So we have the weekends off, and we usually train 5 times a week with gym, lift, and school on top of that. But we have the weekends off. Now, if you're someone that is trying to, let's say, lose weight or get into the best shape of your life, it probably isn't a good idea for you to go out every single night and drink and smoke weed and ruin kind of the progression that you've done, the hard work that you've done. I think when you have a distraction in your life, it really takes away from the progress that you're putting, right? And I know it's hard, guys. Like, I'm in it, right? I get asked from my friends all the time to kind of go out, hey, do this, do that. And you have to balance it out, right? So separate it into seasons. I think if you have significant time off and you are obviously training and you're doing the appropriate schoolwork, yeah, go and enjoy yourself, right? This is the time to do it because when season comes around or when you start having games, you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit of that party and going out and seeing your friends, right? So right now, if I had to take my life, I'd say this is a season of establishment, right? I'm making friends. I'm new here. I just transferred to new university, so I'm in the gym. I'm training hard. I do go out with some of my friends. Not all the time, but I do go out because I want to make connections. I like my teammates. They're great people, and I'm just learning the environment that's around me, right? So it's a season of establishing myself, and a season of kind of exploration, as I like to call it. So then after spring break, we have our first set of games, and I think like a couple weeks before spring break, which is coming up soon, I want to move towards a preparatory phase where I'm going to physically up my training to prepare for the games ahead. right? Because I want to do well. I'm new on the team and stuff like that. So it's going to be a season of preparation as well as more dialed in work because obviously as we get closer to the end of the semester, exams and tests and stuff are going to start to pile up. After we get done with those games and you have kind of like this couple week period where it's like finals, exams and stuff, that also is a period where maybe physically my physical activity will go down a little bit and my education will go up. I'll spend more time in the books, I'll spend more time studying, maybe less time going out, just so I can do well on my exams and do well on my projects and end it strong. This year we have the World Cup, so the summer is going to be very exciting, and I think the summer is a great time to kind of unwind, relax, but also play soccer for the love of it. So I would consider summer kind of a rebuilding slash enjoyment phase of your life where you make a lot of memories with your friends, with your family. You play the sport that you like, you get a nice tan, you know, you do stuff that makes you build memories, right? It's a memory phase, but you're also preparing for the fall season, right? And then it goes into preparation and stuff like that. But basically what I'm saying is, guys, separate things into seasons, right? Like for me, the best time to party is at the end of the season when you've finished everything. There's like a 2 week period where you have it's kind of in between finals and it's kind of in between the end of the season. That to me is the optimal time for me because I don't have to worry about school because I already finished my finals. Season's over for soccer, so I don't have any games or practices during that time, and I could really see some of my friends that maybe are graduating or some that are leaving or transferring. That to me is the most optimal time to kind of go out and party. But again, for you guys, I need you guys to do this. You need to set different seasons. Chop the year up into seasons, whatever your life is doing. Maybe you have work. Maybe it's a season where you work for 2, 3 months straight. And then you want to tailor it off and you want to, hang out with your girlfriend or you want to spend more time with your relationship with obviously your significant other, your girlfriend, your friends, your family, rekindle that. And then maybe it's back into uh, going into work. When we separate ourselves into seasons like that, we minimize distractions, right? Because what is a distraction? A distraction is anything that takes you away from your goals, right? But we don't want to be so consumed in our goals that it takes away from other stuff. So there's kind of this yin and yang. And I'm a firm believer that in life, you need balance. I know people say, oh, balance is for weak, it's for, you need to be extreme and this and that. And I disagree with that completely. I believe that you need to have balance in this world. I believe you need to let yourself unwind. I believe sometimes you do need to let yourself go on a diet. Like, if you're on a strict diet, like, sometimes you do need to eat chocolate or cake or something like that. Sometimes you do need to go out with your friends. Sometimes you need this stuff. But when it becomes a distraction is when you're doing it almost either every single day or every single weekend and it's hindering your other progress, right? This doesn't mean that you don't go out. It doesn't mean that you don't, have a drink or maybe smoke a cigarette or something like that once in a while. No, 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 no. I'm not saying that because we all need that. We all need to unwind. But I'm saying becomes a problem when it's every single day of your life. When you start to look for that outlet rather than trying to better yourself, right? Because majority of the time that you should be spending is on your future, on what you're trying to develop in this world. And I understand that because in college, especially in college, and I'm sure in life as well after college is the same, but particularly in college you see it because everyone's so tight knit together. Is a lot of people are shy to say no or they don't want to get leave because they have a fear of like losing friends. They have FOMO, fear of missing out. Um, there's a sense of like if I say no, they're not going to invite me anymore. And the truth is if they don't invite you anymore, then they probably aren't good friends, right? But if you say no, like this one time I can't go, I have a test or something, like they're gonna understand and they'll invite you the next time, right? Or maybe there's a girl that you like. This is very common. A lot of guys, there's girls going to the thing and they want to get with the girl, so they're like, okay, I'm gonna go to this party, but I have training in the morning at 6 in the morning. I have lift, or I have a test, an exam that I should be studying for, but instead I'm gonna go to a party and try and get with this girl. It's a very common one. I think these things become a problem. These distractions take you away from your highest potential. Now, a lot of the most successful people in this world, I think, are masters at balancing out kind of their time. In the sense where, yes, they have vices, yes, they go out, party. A lot of them party, a lot of them do this, that. But when the work starts, when it's time to perform, they perform in their job. And I'm a firm believer that you need to be able to kind of separate the two. Because once you separate these two dichotomies of life, your work and your party and relaxation and all that, things start to kind of change in your physical world. And I think you start to notice things differently. And it creates kind of this balance where you're not overly worked to the point where you're like, oh, I need the break, but you're also not too relaxed to the point where you're like, okay, I need to like obsess over this work. No, you need to find a balance. But also, guys, another point, this distractions, right? If distractions are really like a problem in your life and you identify that they're a problem, congratulations, you did the first step. You identified that there is clearly a problem that you need to fix. My best advice is you're gonna have to sacrifice it for a little bit. And I know most people are saying, well, that might be hard, this and that. I think the best approach is honestly to go straight to ripping the band-aid off, going cold turkey for 2 3 months. And like if you have an obsession with going out to parties, you just love the party life, this and that, I honestly think you need to separate your life into seasons, separate it into time and place for everything, and work towards kind of teaching yourself like, hey, I earned this. I earned this time to relax, to go to the club, to party, this and that. Don't just give it to yourself just because you need it. No, make it like a reward thing. Make it something that, okay, I'm gonna work for a month straight, and on the weekends I'm just gonna relax with my family. I'm just gonna go out with friends, just like at restaurants and stuff. But I'm not gonna go out to clubs. I'm not gonna go spend money on weed or alcohol, this and that. I'm just gonna go, you know, just have kind of a normal, tamed life, not so rushed for the next 4 weeks. And then once you get past those 4 weeks, you say, okay, I'm gonna treat myself. I earned this. I'm gonna go out with my friends on this day, this day. And it takes sacrifice and it takes discipline, right? It takes lots and lots and lots of discipline, guys, to be able to do this. And it's not gonna be easy. Of course, I told you, nothing's gonna be easy, but you need to separate your life into different areas, right? Think about it as like a video game. In a video game, you have a character and you are trying to upgrade him as much as possible into different, different strength, speed, IQ, whatever it is the game is. You need to separate your life into different areas and to avoid distractions as much as possible. Because I'm telling you guys, distractions can make or break someone. So again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little talk. Again, distractions are very, very, they could make or break you, right? But again, you want balance and everything in moderation. Like, subscribe, share this to someone that needs to see this, someone that may be distracted with life. But again, guys, like I said, separate your life into seasons. If you have trouble with distractions, discipline yourself. Make it a reward thing. Say that you need to earn something. You need to work hard in order to earn it, right? But again, guys, like, subscribe, share, and I hope you guys have a fantastic and safe Super Bowl. Again, stay headstrong, keep the faith, keep the dream alive, and keep working towards it because I know you guys got it. But again, do you have belief in yourself? All right, guys. Peace.